Numbers chapter 13, spies view the land. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, send men to spy out the land of Canaan, for which I am going to give to the sons of Israel. From each of their fathers' tribes you shall send a man, every one a leader among them. So Moses sent spies from the wilderness of Paran at the command of the Lord, all of these men who were the heads of the Israelites. These were the names from the tribe of Reuben. So he goes through all the different tribes, and then it says, 16 says, these are the names of the men whom Moses sent to spy out the land. But Moses called Hoshea, the son of Nun, Joshua, the Lord is salvation. Moses sent them out to spy on the land of Canaan, this is verse 17, and said to them, go up this way into the south country and then go up to the hill country. See what the land is like and whether the people who live there are strong or weak, few or many, and whether the land in which they live in is good or bad, and whether the city in which they live are open camps or fortifications, and what the land is like, whether it's fat, productive, or lean, whether there's timber or not. Make an effort to get some of the fruit of the land. Now this was the time that the first ripe grapes were there. So they went up and spied out the land from the wilderness of Zin to Rehob. They went, and this is when they had gone up into the south country, they came to Hebron. And when they were there, it says, now Hebron was built 7 years before Zon in Egypt. When they came to the valley of Eshcol, the cluster of grapes, and from there they cut down a branch with a single cluster of grapes, and they carried it on a pole between two of them, with some of the pomegranates and figs. The place was called the Valley of Cluster of Grapes because of the cluster of grapes which the sons of Israel came cut down from there. The spies report, when they returned from spying out the land at the end of 40 days, they came to Moses and Aaron, to all the congregation of Israel, and they brought back word to them, and all the congregation showed them the land's fruit. They reported to Moses and said, we went into the land where you sent us, and it certainly does flow with milk and honey, and this is the fruit. But the people who live in the land are strong, and the cities are walled and very large. Moreover, we saw there were descendants of Anak, people of great stature and courage. Anak, I believe, are like the giants. The people descended from Amalek, who live in the land of the Negev, which is the south country, and the Amorites and the Canaanites. Then Caleb quieted the people before Moses and said, let us go up at once and take possession of it, for we will certainly conquer it. But the men who had gone up with him said, we were not able to go up against the people of Canaan, for they are too strong for us. So they gave the Israelites a bad report about the land which they had spied out, saying, the land through which we went in spying out is a land that devours its inhabitants, and all the people that we saw in it are men of great stature. Then we saw the Nephilim, the sons of Anak, are part of the Nephilim, and we were like grasshoppers in our own sight. So we were in their sight. The Nephilim were giants of the land. So 12 spies went out into the land, but 10 came back afraid. Only 2 of them, Joshua and Caleb, believed that they could conquer it, but the rest did not. They were scared like grasshoppers, said we were grasshoppers in our own sight. So it's like sending out a scouting team to look at a new house before you go see it, right? It's like, the land is amazing, everything around it, but the other ones are like, but the neighbors are really bad. So it's kind of that same thing. So we have to remember that fear can make us miss out on many God's blessings, being afraid to step out and do things in faith. So it's so important to let that fear go and trust in God. Faith means trusting God, and sometimes it's not seeing what we know is going to happen. It's just believing and trusting Him. So this is your daily Bible chapter reading God's Word Monday through Friday. See you tomorrow.